Listen carefully because what I'm about to tell you has the power to change the entire direction of your emotional life. If you master these steps, no insult will shake you, no criticism will sting you, and no person will ever have control over your peace again. Control begins within. That's where all power lives and where all chaos dies. You will never master the world outside until you have mastered the world inside. Every moment of your life is either ruled by your emotions or directed by your decisions. The difference between the powerful and the powerless is not what happens to them. It's how they handle what happens. When you lose control of your mind, you lose control of your life. People who offend you, frustrate you, or try to humiliate you, they are not your problem. They are just tests. Tests designed to reveal how much control you truly have over yourself. Anyone can stay calm when the road is smooth, but control is proven in storms, not sunshine. It's easy to talk about peace. It's another thing to remain peaceful when the world pokes at your patience. Every word that triggers you exposes the weakness you still need to fix. Every person that disturbs your calm is a mirror showing you where your discipline is missing. Don't hate the mirror, use it. The truth is, your emotions don't belong to anyone else. They belong to you. No one can make you angry without your consent. No one can make you feel small unless you agree to it. You are not a puppet controlled by people's actions. You are the master who chooses whether to react or rise above. The greatest prison is emotional slavery, when you give others the power to dictate how you feel. When you let someone's words, opinions, or disrespect decide your mood, you hand them the keys to your peace. Take those keys back. You are not here to be emotionally manipulated. You are here to command yourself. The moment you stop blaming others for your feelings, you become unstoppable. Control doesn't mean you suppress emotion. It means you direct it. Anger, pain, disappointment, they're all signals, not commands. You don't have to obey every emotional impulse. You can acknowledge it, learn from it, and still choose calm. Real control is not coldness, it's consciousness. It's knowing when to move, when to wait, when to speak, and when to remain silent. That's how strong people operate. They don't explode, they evaluate. Understand this, no one ruins your day. You do by allowing it. No insult can break you unless you accept it as truth. No rejection can crush you unless you let it define you. The one who controls himself is always in power, even when everything else collapses. That's why the strongest people walk through storms with steady eyes and quiet confidence. They're not emotionless, they're focused. They know their energy is sacred, and they refuse to waste it on things that don't build them. Control begins with awareness. Watch your thoughts, because your thoughts become emotions. Watch your ions, because they become actions. Watch your actions, because they become habits. And watch your habits, because they become your destiny. The man who controls his inner world controls his fate. The one who doesn't becomes a slave to circumstance. When someone tries to provoke you, don't fall for it. The second you react emotionally, you play their game on their terms. Instead, pause, breathe, let silence do the talking. That pause is your power. That moment between stimulus and response, that's where your freedom lives. The man who can pause can rule himself. The one who can't is ruled by others. Life will always test your control. The world will never stop challenging you. But every challenge is an invitation to grow, not an excuse to lose yourself. The goal is not to avoid storms, it's to remain unshaken inside them. Be calm in chaos, be focused in noise, be grounded when others lose balance, because when you control your inner world, no outer world can conquer you. Control begins within and ends with victory over self. The moment you master your emotions, your reactions, your energy, you become untouchable. You stop chasing peace and start creating it. You stop demanding respect and start embodying it. You won't need to shout. You won't need to prove. Your calm will speak louder than your words. Your silence will intimidate the noise. That's the essence of true power, not control over others, but mastery over yourself. because when you control what happens within, no one can shake what stands without. Control begins within. Remember that. It's not just a statement, it's a command to your soul. Train your mind, discipline your emotions, protect your peace. And when the world tries to disturb you, smile, because nothing can touch a person who has already conquered himself. Detach from reactions. That's the art of true power, the ability to feel everything yet be controlled by nothing. Most people don't live their lives, they react to them. They let every word ever, why insult, every inconvenience pull them into emotional chaos. One comment ruins their mood. One delay ruins their day. They become slaves to triggers they don't even understand. But if you want real control, if you want lasting peace, you must learn the discipline of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop bleeding energy on things that don't deserve it. It means you see life as it is, not as your emotions paint it. When someone disrespects you, you don't lose yourself trying to fight for validation. When plans fall apart, you don't collapse in frustration. You stay centered, calm, focused, because you understand that your reaction is always your responsibility, never their fault. Every time you react emotionally, you surrender power. You hand the keys of your inner world to someone else. They push a button and you dance. They say a word and you burn. They control your peace without even knowing it. That's not strength, that's submission. Power begins when you take those keys back, when you decide that no one, no situation, no insult has the right to control your emotions. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. It's looking at chaos and saying, see you, but you don't own me. It's refusing to let temporary emotions destroy permanent purpose. When you detach from reactions, you don't stop feeling. You start choosing what's worth feeling for. You stop wasting emotional energy on what doesn't matter, and you start investing it into what builds your destiny. Understand this, life will constantly provoke you. People will test your patience. Circumstances will shake your confidence. But every moment is a lesson. Every irritation is an opportunity to train your emotional discipline. When you feel the urge to react, pause. Don't let impulse make decisions your wisdom will regret. Detachment is the gap between what happens and how you respond. It's the strength to stand still when your emotions demand war. Learn to observe without absorbing. That's the secret. Observe the insult without letting it stain your mind. Observe the disappointment without letting it kill your drive. Observe the chaos without becoming part of it, because every reaction costs energy, and energy is your most valuable currency. Spend it wisely. Don't waste it on proving points, chasing validation, or arguing with ignorance. A king doesn't wrestle with clowns. When you detach from reactions, you start to see life through a higher lens. You realize that people's words reflect their state of mind, not your worth. You realize that every outburst, every rude behavior, every attack says more about them than about you. So why respond with anger when understanding exposes their weakness? Why give energy to the noise when silence declares your strength louder than words ever could? Every moment you refuse to react, you win, because silence confuses the weak and empowers the wise. The one who can stay calm in chaos becomes the leader of the room. You no longer operate from emotion. You operate from awareness. You choose peace over pettiness, power over impulse, focus over fury. That's the mindset of mastery. Detachment is emotional discipline in motion. It's training your mind to see everything, feel everything, but respond to nothing that doesn't serve your higher purpose. It's being in control of your energy the same way a warrior controls his weapon, never used carelessly, never wasted aimlessly. The man who reacts loses. The man who responds strategically, consciously, always wins. And here's the truth. The people who try to bother you want your reaction. They feed on it. They grow when you get angry, when you lose focus, when you start defending yourself. But when you don't react, when you remain still, composed, untouchable, you starve them. Nothing confuses the weak more than calm confidence. Your detachment becomes your defense. Your silence becomes your shield. So stop trying to control others. Control yourself. Saint, trying to fix what they think of you. Fix what you think when they act against you. Stop wasting your fire on battles that don't matter. Save it for the war that defines you, the war within. That's where victory begins. When you detach from reactions, you step into freedom. You no longer move because someone pushed you. You move because you chose to. You stop being emotionally hijacked by opinions, delays, or failures. You become unshakable, unstoppable, untouchable, because now your emotions serve you. You don't serve them. Detachment is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's emotional intelligence in its highest form. It's knowing that peace is more valuable than proving a point. It's realizing that not every comment deserves your attention, not every situation deserves your energy, and not every person deserves your reaction. Detach from reactions, and you'll discover a new kind of strength, the quiet kind, the kind that doesn't need validation, doesn't need revenge, doesn't need recognition, the kind that simply is. Because when you no longer react to everything around you, you finally connect with the power within you. So stand tall, let others talk, let them doubt, let them misunderstand. You stay focused, stay calm, stay detached, because the one who controls his reaction controls his reality, and the one who controls his reality controls his destiny. Silence over speech. That is the mark of real strength, the language of true power. The weak rush to speak, the wise wait. The loud seek attention, the silent command it. Words are cheap, noise is endless, but silence is sacred. It's in silence that your mind sharpens, your instincts awaken, and your presence begins to speak louder than any sentence ever could. Most people destroy their power by talking too much. They reveal their plans, expose their emotions, and scatter their energy in meaningless words. They think speaking makes them appear strong, but the more they speak, the more they give away control. You can't command respect when you can't command your tongue. Silence is self-mastery in motion. The one who can hold his words can hold his world. When you choose silence over speech, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability is power. People can't read what you don't reveal. They can't prepare for moves they can't see coming. That mystery builds authority. It forces others to watch you instead of talk over you. The more silent you are, the more others project strength onto you. Because silence has weight and people respect what carries weight, understand this truth. Speech often comes from insecurity. The loud explain because they need to be understood. The strong stay silent because they understand themselves. You don't need to justify, argue, or convince when you know your value. Let the results speak, not your mouth. Words fade, but results echo. Every time you hold your silence when others expect noise, you elevate yourself to a higher level of control. Silence ISN. Emptiness, it's focus. It's the ability to hear what most people miss. When you are silent, you observe. You learn. You see what words hide. You begin to understand people's intentions, not just their language. The talker gives away secrets. The listener gathers them. The quiet one in the room is always the most dangerous, because while others are speaking, he's calculating. There's wisdom in restraint. Every time you resist the urge to defend yourself, to argue, to explain, you gain strength. You protect your energy. Because every argument costs peace, and every unnecessary word drains power. The greatest warriors don't fight every battle. They choose the ones that matter. The same law applies to speech. Speak only when your words carry the force to shift. A room in silence, people feel your energy. When you walk with calm confidence, people notice without you saying a word. Let your stillness speak. Let your control intimidate, because the man who doesn't rush to respond always controls the conversation. In moments of provocation, silence is your weapon. When someone disrespects you, stay quiet. Don't feed them your energy. Nothing frustrates the weak more than a strong person who won't react. Your calm is their confusion. Your restraint is their defeat. When you stay silent, you show them that their words hold no power. That's how you dominate without saying a single thing. But silence isn't just for conflict. It's for creation. When you stop filling every moment with noise, you start hearing your own thoughts clearly. You begin to hear ideas, inspiration, and intuition that only emerge in stillness. Great visions are born in silence, not in chaos. Every great thinker, every great leader, every great creator has known the value of wit, drawing from the noise to listen to the voice within. The modern world fears silence because it reveals truth. That's why everyone keeps talking, posting, arguing, to drown out the noise inside themselves. But you, if you want to rise above the ordinary, must learn to sit in silence and face yourself. That's where discipline grows. That's where purpose becomes clear. When you can be comfortable with silence, you no longer need the approval of noise. The tongue is a double-edged sword. It can build empires or burn them to ashes. One careless word can destroy trust, ruin peace, or expose weakness. So guard your tongue like a weapon. Don't use it recklessly. Speak only when your words carry precision and purpose. Because silence keeps your power concentrated, every word spoken should be a calculated release of that power, not a leak. People reveal themselves by how much they speak. The undisciplined talk to fill the void. The disciplined talk to fill the world with direction. You can. Measure someone's strength by the distance between their emotions and their mouth. The shorter that distance, the weaker they are. The longer they can hold silence before speaking, the stronger their command over self. Silence is not a lack of communication. It's the highest form of it. It says, "Indeed, I don't need to prove. I don't need to beg. I don't need to explain." It tells the world that your peace is not up for negotiation. It tells your enemies that their noise doesn't reach you. And it tells your mind that you are in charge. So practice the art of holding back. Let others speak first. Let them expose their thoughts, their weaknesses, their intentions. You just listen, observe, learn. Then, when the time comes to speak, every word you release will carry the weight of truth, timing, and power. That's what separates leaders from followers. Restraint before response. Silence over speech, not because you fear expression, but because you've mastered it, because you understand that our voice carries more force when used sparingly, because you know that in a world full of noise, silence is the rarest and strongest sound. Stay quiet. Let your results roar. Let your actions speak. Let your calm break their chaos. Because those who control their words control their world, and those who rule their silence rule themselves. See lessons, not insults. That is the mindset of the unshakable. The difference between the weak and the wise lies in perception. The weak feel attacked, the wise see instruction. Every insult, every criticism, every rejection carries a hidden message, a silent opportunity to strengthen your mind. Life does not send you enemies to destroy you. It sends you mirrors to expose you. What offends you reveals what you still need to master. What angers you shows you where you still lack control. If you can learn instead of react, you will rise while others drown in emotion. People will insult you, they'll doubt you, mock you, underestimate you. That's infightable. But the greatest mistake you can make is to take it personally. When you take things personally, you hand your emotions to the very people trying to break you. You let their words occupy your peace. You start living in reaction instead of purpose. That's what they want, for you to lose focus, to lose discipline, to prove them right through anger. But you must be wiser than that. When someone disrespects you, don't rush to defend yourself. Observe. Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Maybe it's patience, maybe it's humility, maybe it's resilience. Every negative moment is a disguised training session for your strength. Life doesn't shape you with comfort, it shapes you through conflict. The one who complains misses the lesson. The one who learns becomes untouchable. Your greatest growth often hides behind your greatest irritation. Every insult has two paths, reaction or reflection. Most people choose reaction. They argue, shout, prove, explain, but that only proves the I. Salt worked. The wise choose reflection. They pause, analyze, and extract the lesson. They grow stronger without saying a word. Silence becomes their weapon. Growth becomes their revenge. Understand this, no insult defines you unless you accept it as truth. If someone calls you weak, it's only an insult if you believe it. If you know your strength, their words lose meaning. An insult only sticks where there is insecurity. So when words sting, don't curse the speaker, fix the wound. Ask yourself why it bothered you. What fear did it touch? What ego did it challenge? That's where your next level of growth lives. See, the universe uses opposition to train warriors. The more pressure, the stronger the blade. Every critic, every insult, every challenge is sharpening your character. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Life tests you not to break you, but to build endurance. The wise don't fear judgment, they use it. They turn criticism into clarity and pain into power. That's what separates those who rise from those who retreat. You must understand that people only attack what threatens them. When you rise, you become a mirror for others' insecurities. Your progress reminds them of what they're not doing, so they insult you to protect their ego. Don't respond with anger, that's what they want. Respond with silence and focus. Let your consistency prove them wrong. Let your success teach the lesson they refuse to learn. When you stop seeing insults and start seeing lessons, you become mentally bulletproof. Nothing can shake you because everything teaches you. You stop fearing negativity because you know every attack feeds your evolution. Every rejection refines your direction. Every failure polishes your strength. Pain stops being personal and becomes purposeful. That's when life bends to your will. Control your interpretation, and you control your reality. The insult itself is powerless, your interpretation gives it life. Two people can hear the same. Criticism, one breaks, the other builds. The words didn't change, the mindset did. The powerful don't ask, why did this happen to me? They ask, what is this showing me? That single shift in thinking turns pain into fuel. You can't avoid insults, but you can transform them. Let every disrespect remind you of your mission. Let every insult remind you that your energy is too valuable to waste on noise. Let every critic become your motivation to improve so deeply that they disappear in your progress. When you keep learning, the world can't defeat you. It can only develop you. Think of it like fire. The same flame that burns wood also strengthens steel. The difference is in the material. Be steel. Let insults forge you, not consume you. Every harsh word is heat. Use it to harden your resolve. When people try to tear you down, thank them silently. They've just given you another chance to rise higher. One day, those who insulted you will watch you win. They'll remember what they said, and you'll remember how you stayed silent. That silence will be your victory speech. You didn't waste time reacting, you spent time improving. That's how champions move. They don't fight every opinion, they outgrow them. See lessons, not insults, because the world is a classroom disguised as chaos. Every comment, every rejection, every doubt is a hidden assignment for your soul. If you ignore it, you repeat it. If you learn from it, you ascend. Life will keep testing your emotional maturity until you stop reacting and start understanding. So the next time someone throws an insult your way, don't respond with anger, respond with awareness. Smile quietly. You just found another lesson, another weakness revealed, another opportunity to grow. That's how you become unstoppable. Because when you stop seeing enemies and start seeing educators, nothing can offend you, and no one can control you. See lessons, not insults, and watch how fast your peace becomes your power. Guard your mental gates, because your mind is the fortress that protects your peace, your power, and your destiny. Everything you allow inside that fortress, every thought, every word, every image, shapes the person you become. Most people lose the battle for success not because they lack strength, but because they let anything and anyone walk freely into their mind. They leave the gates open. They let negativity, doubt, gossip, and fear slip in quietly and poison their focus. You can't build an empire with an unguarded mind. The enemy isn't outside, it's what you've allowed inside. Your thoughts are the architects of your life. What you think repeatedly becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes how you act, and how you act builds your reality. If your mind is filled with noise, comparison, and self-doubt, you will never see clearly. You can't expect peace when you feed your brain chaos. You can't expect strength when you allow weakness to whisper in your ear all day. The content you consume, the conversations you entertain, the people you listen to, they are all either building your fortress or breaking it down brick by brick. Guarding your mental gates means taking full control over what gets your attention. Because attention is energy, and energy is life. Every time you give your attention to gossip, you lose focus. Every time you give your attention to fear, you lose courage. Every time you give your attention to distraction, you lose direction. Discipline is not just about action, it's about attention. You become what you repeatedly allow to enter your mind. If someone came to your home carrying garbage, you would never let them dump it in your living room. So why do you allow people to dump their negativity into your mind? Why do you scroll through endless noise, arguments, and drama, and then wonder why you feel drained? The world is trying to occupy your thoughts, to keep you angry, reactive, distracted. But if you want to rise, you must learn to close the gates. You must. Decide what deserves space in your mind and what does not. Every morning you open those gates. You decide what enters. The news you watch, the people you follow, the music you listen to, the conversations you engage in, each one is either sharpening your sword or dulling it. So be ruthless with your focus. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. The quality of your life is the reflection of the quality of your thoughts. Negative people are mental thieves. They steal your calm and replace it with noise. Every complaint they share, every drama they spread, every word of doubt they whisper, they are testing your gates. Don't let them in. Distance yourself from those who drain you. You can love people without giving them access to your peace. Protect your environment like a warrior protects his weapon. You can't stay sharp if you live surrounded by rust. Guarding your mental gates also means guarding your self-talk. The loudest voice you'll ever hear is the one in your head. What you say to yourself, especially when you're alone, determines how high you'll climb. Stop letting your mind feed you lies about what you can't do. Replace an "I can't" with an "I will." Replace a "not enough" with an "I'm still growing." The words you speak inside your mind either build a prison or a palace. Choose wisely.